Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's time for the VooDoo Chef Podcast, where we will discuss all things voodoo from the VooDoo Studios located right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So to all my booties out there, if you're looking for nothing but a good time, this is the place to be. Call your friends, knock on the neighbor's door, and let them know it's time to party like a rock star for the next hour. Join me and my guests and learn to voodoo like we do as we discuss our faves and the voodoo that we use. I'll put our guests on the spot as we ask for their top 3, and make sure and listen as we discuss some of our favorite war stories from the kitchens we've worked in. Sit back, grab a tall glass of your favorite libation, and enjoy this episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast.
What's going on, Voodies? Another episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast, and I got to tell you, I'm super excited. I'm like looking all over the place. I don't know what to do. I've got my bottle. We're ready to go. Chef Richard Hales on the podcast tonight. And if you don't know who he is, you're in for a treat. He is a rock star. Big-time restaurateur from right here in Tampa, Florida. So I can't wait to get him in here, introduce him to you guys. But before we do, we got to do a little cooking. Big Eddie C this week did something, took the cast iron skillet out there, put it on the induction cooktop, and we did a little bit of a reverse sear. Sous vide some pork chops, little lime, little voodoo red, Southwest flavor, added the Wardford. Can't wait for you to see it. Little red bean ragu, cilantro rice. Check it out. What's going on, Voodies? We are getting a immediate start here today, guys. We've got a lot of things going. We're doing a reverse sear tonight, so we're going to pull the trigger quick. Been rendering the fat from some bacon. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out real quick. So I've got this on real low right now, but I got a ton of fat in here, and that's exactly what I love. We all know that bacon's one of the 4 food groups: butter, bacon, caffeine, carbs, and bourbon. And I just rendered the fat of about 2 to 4 slices of bacon, and we're getting ready to do some magic here. We've got some thick pork chops, and when I say thick, I mean some thick pork chops. And if you could see, those bad boys are already steaming. What we did, we put these inside sous vide bags. If you don't have those, you can use a Ziploc, freezer Ziploc. Sam, what's going on, buddy? We're right out of the gate, man, rocking and rolling. So we got these, let me move my cup out of the way here. We got these chops, and we're going to go ahead and get these searing and get our dish going. I put these inside sous vide bags and sealed them up with about an ounce of Mojo per chop. And as you can see, these are some Mac Daddies. These are big boys. So I put them in the sous vide, temp 140, for about 3 hours. We're going to hit them with lime. It's 1/4 of a lime per chop. We want to do them up right. Really get these things coated. And then we can get them going. Now that we got them coated, we're going to season them, all right? Tonight, using a little VooDoo Chef Red, and we're just going to be pretty liberal with this and get it on there. About a tablespoon per chop, half per side. And don't be afraid, guys, this stuff is magic here. Remember, our VooDoo Chef Red, it's that Southwestern flavor, but it's earthy, warm, not hot. So you don't need to be worried about lighting up, getting too hot, burning your mouth off. It's that earthy, warm flavor that's doing the magic. Now, remember, I said I already had these in the sous vide, the hot water bath, in a bag, all the air removed. at 140 for about 2 hours. So now all I need to do is sear that outside to get that Maillard reaction there, which is going to give us that yummy goodness, that charred meat side, that charred meat on the outside. That's that yummy goodness and flavor. And I did it right in that bacon fat that I rendered. So we're just going to let that work. Now, I think we're caught up. Remember, cooked meat, cooked pans, raw meat, raw pans. This meat came out cooked on this pan. When I remove it from here, I can put it right back on here. So that's why I don't have that extra pan today. Woo! You know, you try to get things fired up and started on time. That's what happens when we're doing that little reverse sear, right? All right, let's talk about some things real quick while we're searing. You know, we want to go about a minute per side. You need about 350, 400 degrees on that pan. That's going to create that hard char on the outside. We're going to do all sides. You know, the big surface area sides, obviously, but we also want to get that 1-inch cut. We want to run that side on the sear as well. So, while this is going, you know, few things going on. We are almost at our max on this page. So, if you know Facebook, once we hit 5,000 booties that are on there with us, they're not going to let us drop any more. So, we have started a public figure page. So if you get a second, jump on, let's see, how do you do it on Facebook? At Erik Youngs 13. So kind of like our VooDoo Chef 13 page, we're going at Erik Youngs 13. Jump over there. Make sure you follow, because we're going to be locking some people out on this page here based on that 5,000 person rule. And we don't want anybody to miss out on hanging out with the booties and learning about all we do. So jump over. You can do it now. I think we're streaming on both pages right now. And hey, if we're not, hit me up and let me know, big boy, you did something wrong. All right, so I got this going here. I'm going to check this. You know, when we were rendering that bacon, I had it down low, so I had to crank it up a little bit, get that heat to a little medium high so we could get that hard sear on there. And we got a little magic happening. God, it smells amazing. We get a little show today, too. Let's talk about VooDoo. I appreciate you guys doing all the things you do, following, jumping over to those pages, checking us out, hanging out. But, you know, I was talking with my boy H tonight, and if you guys hang out with us, you know he's my PIC, and he's at all our events, hanging out, backing me up, love him. And he looked at me today and he goes, dude, you're just a pretty straightforward kind of guy. A lot of people don't get that, but, you know, I really dig that. And I said, H, that's kind of funny. You know, because when we speak of straightforward, you know, that's kind of how I like my life, including my bourbon. And we're drinking a little Woodford Double Oak Reserve tonight. And how do I like my Woodford Double Oak? Well, you know, I'd love to tell you straight, but Woodford is too good to shoot, to do, just knock back. This is a sipping whiskey. And when we're hanging out and we have our sipping whiskey, we got to drop in our pretentious ice cube, right? And no matter where I go, whenever I order my Woodford and I tell them I want a lime, they all tell me I'm ruining it. But here's to you. Here's to everybody at Brown Foreman. Here's to all the booties out there. Let's get these chops going. All right. Shaq, what's up? I need a haircut, man. All right. We got some nice color on that one side. We're going to turn them over. Start getting some color on the other side. And you can really smell the chilies that are in that red. You can smell them on that searing process. And if you could see the oil in the pan, it's starting to take on that color, that flavor, and that's going to come into play in a little bit. While this other side's going, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you about all our events coming up. Don't forget, please, check out the VooDoo Chef podcast. We have a wonderful man on tonight. You know, we record on Wednesdays. They drop on Friday. But tonight we have Chef Richard Hales on. If you're not familiar with Chef Richard Hales, he is a Tampa guy. He went to Jefferson High School. We actually were in class together. We played on a football team together. I know you're looking at me going, well, you look like an NFL dude. Well, you know, 6'7", 240 is what it is. But Rich went on and just really created a major name for himself in the culinary world. He has 4 or 5 restaurants down in Miami. He's been on numerous television shows, and he is getting ready to open a restaurant here in Tampa. If you want to learn more about that, log into the podcast on Friday. Check it out. It drops on Friday. We're definitely going to be asking him about that tonight. And that drops every Friday. You can find it on our YouTube channel. You can go to our website, VooDooChef.com, find all the links. They'll click you right over there. And too easy, right? Too easy. Smells amazing. Smells amazing. All right, so time for a sip here, guys. Michael Dillon, I hope you are feeling well. I love that you said you're back to normal, and someone posed the question, what's normal? Hope you're good, man. Hope you're all set. I love the pop-ups, guys, and you know, I'm a little far away, so it's difficult for me to see and answer everybody. If you do have questions about any of the dishes we make at the Halfway Hangout, you can always check us out on the Johnny B Show every Friday night. We are on the Johnny B Show every Friday night at 10 o'clock with the segment called VooDoo Like We Do. You can check out the Halfway Hangouts, write down your questions, come on Johnny B on Friday nights and ask him. Talk to hell, just call up and say, what's going on, big boy? How you doing? That would be super duper. That would be amazing. This Friday is going to be fun. We're going to be, well, we'll talk about it on the show. Make sure you tune in 102.5 The Bone every Friday night, 10 p.m. The feel-good, foodie, funky freestyle Friday. I don't know what Johnny calls it. I always mess up. But we go live 10 o'clock. Call in 727-579-1025. I don't know the 800 number. 727-579-1025. And you can call in on Friday night and ask us all your questions or just hang out and talk. All right, guys, I'm going to move these and start getting the sides. So we're just going to stand this up, lean it over here, get this one going. I got the bone side up. I can't wait to show you these. These look absolutely amazing. Back to Johnny B. Shafali, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. We're doing a little reverse sear pork chop just to catch everybody up. Reverse sear pork chop. We took them. We put them in some airtight bags, sous vide bags. Again, you can use Ziploc if you don't have sous vide. And we put a little VooDoo Chef Mojo in there with them. We put them in a 140-degree water bath for about 3 hours. You can go about 2 to 4, depending on the thickness of your pork chop. And then we brought them out. We hit each pork chop with some lime juice and VooDoo Chef Red, and we're just searing the outside now. And I think we're in a good spot. So I'm gonna pull these bad boys, and I'm gonna walk these up. Let me remove this from the heat real quick. Give it a break. All right, let's bring these up so you can check these out before we move on. All right, guys, look at these. Look at the hard sear on that. These are ready to eat right now. So we could take these and put these right on the dinner table if we want, but we have some more stuff we got to do. Somebody said they can smell them from here. I was looking, you know, Casey Grillo, drummer for Queensryche, he likes to comment whenever we're doing this stuff. He can smell it in his backyard. He's a rock star, man. That's an amazing cook right on the outside of that. And these are going to be perfect. All right, so we're going to take this right up over here. I got my grill turned on. I'm just going to set this in here, right up here, so they stay warm, all right? Got my Weber going today. All right, time to rock and roll. I'm going to get rid of a little bit of this grease. Just a little bit. and it's time to get started on part 2, okay? So, we can't just serve our pork chops solo. We gotta get, I don't know if you guys saw that, I poured the grease on top of the little bit of VooDoo red that I had left in here. Holy cow. Holy cow on 2 parts. This smells amazing, and I don't know what the fuck just jumped in my tree. As long as it keeps going that way, we're good. We all know I'm afraid of snakes, man. But snakes hopefully don't jump that high. Alright, so let's get a little wipey wipe here. Get ready to rock and roll. No clue what the hell that was. Nor do I care. Alright, so we're going to start. We got a little grease in here. And we're changing things up, guys. You know, when you see these recipes, they're going to look a little different. I'm going to go ahead and get just a little Wardford in here to break up some of that stuff on the bottom of the pan. And we're actually going to hit it twice with the Wardford. But I want to get some of that fond off the bottom of the pan from those chops. And, you know, that's not traditionally the order we do things. But when the hell have I been a traditional guy, right? We're going to add some red onion and some green and red pepper. And you're right, I've got way more than I need, but we use this all the time at the house. So it's real easy to just cut that up and have it in the kitchen for when we need it. All right, we're just going to let these rock and roll here. And the aroma's already coming. The colors are already changing, popping. It's going to be some amazing stuff. What we're making, a little red bean ragu. We're not going to take these too long. We're going to get get those onions just on that verge of turning translucent. And our peppers are still going to have a little bit of bite because we are going to add some liquid here and kind of let this cook down. Look at that. Iowa checking in. And if I haven't already asked, start typing in where you're from, guys. We would love to know who's checking us out, where you're checking in from. We have people from UK, we had people from Arkansas, Portland. I gotta tell you, the notes that come out of the Wardford when you cook with it, just amazing. Amazing, and it seems to change every time. And you know, you could say, well, you know, your taste changes with you. If you're a little sick, if you know, your nose is a little plugged, it's all good. But there's something about cooking with Wardford, just absolutely amazing. I'm smelling that oak, whoo doggy. Tasting it too. All right, so we got a little color on here. What I want to do now is I want to add a little tomato paste. And I'm going to get my spoon back. Set my tongs over here. Let me get my spoon back. And I just want to get this tomato paste in here. And start getting it in the pan. Coating my peppers, coating my onions. And that bacon that I rendered the fat from earlier, we're going to go ahead and put that back in too. Because, you know, why the hell not, right? Alright. So now in my pan, I've got my bacon fat, my bacon, my onions, my peppers, and tomato paste. And as that tomato paste is cooking, we're rocking out some of those sugars. It's doing its thing. And we want to make sure that now we get all that yummy goodness up off the bottom of the pan. So, and remember, we had the chops in here that had the red, it had the lime. So all those flavors are already popping in here. You might be sitting there wondering, he's not hitting it with the dust tonight. He's not putting any more seasonings on there. I don't think we have to because those chops were seasoned so well. We're going to add a little more Wardford. Guys, we're going about half a cup total on this. If you're that person that you got to ignite this and have the flames go, awesome. You do you. Here, I don't need to do that. We're just cooking this down. We're going to cook that alcohol out and leave just that yummy flavor of the Wardford, the oak. The aromas are amazing. All right, so now we're gonna drop in our beans. We're just dropping in some red kidneys. Now I did strain, rinse these kidneys. I don't like that gummy, yucky stuff that you get on them. And now we add a cup of chicken stock. So we're gonna get this in here, get a little stir, make sure all those flavors are mixed in there. And now we're just gonna let this do its thing. I'm gonna crank this up, bring it to a boil, and then let it simmer. And I gotta tell you guys, the smell of the bacon, the red, the onions are popping through. But what's really, really just hitting me is that Wardford. That Wardford is doing a number on this. And I can't wait to dig in. I hope you guys cook this and let me know what you think of it. LT, thanks for checking in. Always love when you guys check in. Can't wait till we have an event so we can see you again. I hope you guys are coming to a VooDoo Valentine. If you don't know what VooDoo Valentine is, guys, we are once again taking over Dark Door Distillery. Dark Door Distillery is a local distillery. They make some amazing products. They made the gin that I bought a barrel of so we could pimp out, with a portion of the proceeds supporting the VooDoo Chef Foundation. An amazing gin, only the second time ever that I tried gin and I fell in love. They also are doing an amazing Spirit of the Oak right now. Their bourbon is top notch, and they make a mean old fashioned. But we're taking over the distillery. We're running in, setting up our stage. We're gonna have a 4-course meal. You're gonna get a non-pretentious Valentine's meal. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm here to tell you it is. So, what's on the menu that night? Bacon fat fries. We are making our own wedge potato fries, deep frying them. They are flavored with bacon fat, deep fried bacon fat, and we hit them with our house ranch that we talked about last week. I'm telling you guys, great way to start the night. After that, you'll follow it with VooDoo shrimp. Suck them, peel them, dip them, eat them. We've made that on the Insta page, not at the Halfway Hangout. Maybe we'll do it in a couple weeks at the Halfway Hangout. And then for your entree that night, you get your choice between the Badass or the Bitch. The Badass is a twin patty burger made with our special blend. We take 80-20 ground beef and we grind it with Applewood smoked bacon. 50-50 ratio. So the bacon is right in the patty. We smash burger those bad boys. We serve them up with a little bit of the FOMO sauce, inspired by Strawberry Crest High School from VooDoo Chef Underground last year. And comes, LTO, caramelized onions, provolone cheese, toasted bun. Absolutely phenomenal. If you're not into the burger, you're looking for something else, we do have the Bitch. The Bitch I made on the Halfway Hangout last week. You could log into our Facebook page, go check it out. Grilled chicken breast, balsamic seared, topped with caramelized onions, house-made ranch dressing, house-made pimento cheese. Just absolutely off the chart. You can get those tickets at VooDooChef.com. Click on VooDoo Valentine and book them up. You can buy a pair of tickets for you and your Valentine, or you can buy a single rider ticket. And yes, you can pick your sandwich. You can both get the Badass, you can both get the Bitch, you can get one of each. If you come alone, said it last week, I'll come sit with you. Order me a Badass and a Bitch, because they're both that good. Not only do we have the yummy goodness of a VooDoo dinner, but we are also having the comedy of Johnny B. You're getting a twofer. So Johnny B will be live, performing live. He does a lot down south, but we're bringing him up to Tampa and we're putting on a show, and it's going to be a great night. And if it wasn't enough to have VooDoo and Johnny B closing out the night, a live set from the Kitchen Killers. They were at an event we did not too long ago. These guys, they were at 2 of our events. These guys are phenomenal. Check them out on Facebook at Kitchen Killers, KITCHEN, K-I-L-L-A-Z. Kitchen Killers. And my favorite. I call it Collide. I don't know all the words. It's just got a great beat. Billy and the Commodore do an amazing job. Their harmonies, the guitar parts, just phenomenal. Slide, glide, collide. I don't know. Fall in love, serendipity. Call it what you want. Just an amazing song. Check them out. Check them out at Kitchen Killers. They're closing the night. I'm going to tell you, you don't want to miss it. And it's all for one price. Find it at VooDoo Chef online. Grab your tickets because it will sell out. All right, guys, we're reducing here real good. I'll stop flapping my gums. The flavor's coming out of here. We're getting a little smell of that pepper and onion. The bacon's coming through now, combining with that Wardford. We're going to let this keep going. I'm just going to turn my spoon upside down. I'm going to grab a quick sip, and we're going to talk about how we're going to finish this plate off. Nicole Charlo, how you doing? VooDoo Chef Mojo, VooDoo Chef Red. Don't know if you noticed the new packaging on the VooDoo Chef Red. We're having a hard time getting the bottles thanks to the supply chain challenges of COVID, but we didn't want to stop production, so we're putting it in bags now, and all these are available, VooDooChef.com online. Let's make some room here. Hide our dirties. We need this, we need this. All right, so I told you guys I was using this as a warmer, so I got my grill on. I made some rice. You do you. Make your rice how you want. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how you make it. Just make your plain white rice. If you want to make it in a pot on top, throw your water in, bring it to a boil, add your rice. Awesome. If you want to saute your rice in some butter, oil, bacon fat, and then add your water. Awesome. You do. You want to use a rice cooker? You do you. You may have seen our episode where we do green rice, where we make the cilantro oil and put that in the rice. Tonight we're doing a cilantro rice. We're going to take a little bit of our steak butter, our garlic butter, you can find the recipe online, and we're going to add that right into our hot rice. Now, while this is going, I want to go ahead and close my pork chops in here so they get nice and warm. And I just want to get this butter tossed in my rice. It's going to add a little bit of flavor. It's going to make it shine, make it moist. I can't believe it. We're going to hit it with some lime. And then we're going to drop in about half a bunch of chopped cilantro. Half a bunch of chopped cilantro, isn't that a lot? How much rice did you make? We got about 4 cups of cooked rice. So, you start with 2 cups, get to that end point, about 4 cups of rice, and then we're just folding this in. Time to reduce this bad boy down to a simmer. And I'm just kind of folding this in, getting that cilantro and lime evenly dispersed. We'll let you see this close up so you can see. Nothing magical, just a little cilantro rice. Okay? You may have bought this at Chipotle. Same shit. It's that easy. Don't think they're doing magic. You can do all that stuff at home. All right. I want to get a little wipey wipe. All right. So now we're good to go. Now we could talk about plating. This was my cleaning rag. This was my wiping rag. All right, so guys, we're just gonna take some rice and hit the center of that plate. Now remember, about a half cup is, our portion size. But again, we're Americans. We do what the hell we want. I want to get a little bigger portion on there because I got a big big pork chop ready to rock and roll. All right, my ragu looking super yummy. Nice and thick. Oh, the peppers, the onions, the bacon, the red, the Wardford. You can smell it all. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right, where's my cleaning? Get a wipey wipe. All right, let's get my pork chops over here. Because I'm me, and because I can, I'm just going to get a little garlic butter on top of here. Because I like garlic butter, I like to finish it off. It's going to give it a nice little shine. I wish you guys were here. I wish we could share this with you. You know, normally I cook for the girls. I don't know, somebody might not be getting a pork chop tonight. My daughter tells me all the time, Papa, you're supposed to end the show by taking a big bite. If I bite this, you ain't getting any. She goes, you're right, don't eat my food. Just kidding. All right, so now we're gonna take this chop, stand it up, and see if we can get this thing to stand up right there. What? It's gonna fall. That's all right. If I had a knife out here, put a nice little slit on there, make it smooth. Since we're gonna do this one not standing up, and you know what, we're gonna change this one too, only because it's not gonna stay. Guys, we're down to nothing but the ragu, and we're just gonna take a nice big spoon of this, dump this right over the top. Holy moly. When I eat this, I want to eat all the flavors at once. I want to taste a little bit of everything. Definitely a fork and knife. Definitely a fork and knife. I'm going to get my tongs back in here. I'm going to use my tongs kind of like a ladle. Get a little bit of that liquid because I want some of that Wardford flavor on there. It's in the beans, but I want to make sure we're getting a lot. So get some of that on there. Now, get a little cleanup on aisle 2. A little cleanup on aisle 2 here too. Here you go, booties. A little bit of a reverse sear. Southwestern salmon, Woodford red bean ragu, cilantro rice. We got 2 plates going. Here's plate 2. That chop looks phenomenal. And Delia, how are you doing? Great job today, by the way. Your meatballs were phenomenal. A little bit of red bean ragu. Super, super simple. I hope to see you guys making some of this stuff. Yoli, I'm still waiting on my Cuban. Until next, guys, thanks for checking out the halfway. Big Eddie C, 1 pan, all in, all done, seared the chops. What'd you think, man?
I just love that technique, man.
How about that 1 inch thick cut on that bad boy, man?
Oh God, it looks so good. That's gonna be my next investment is the sous vide, bro.
Yeah, we gotta get back in the room here so that we're sitting right here. I say this every week, and I feel bad because I eat it all, and you guys don't get to taste it at all.
Rank has its privileges.
I don't know about that, man.
Like Chris Rock used to say, Daddy's supposed to get the big piece of chicken. I shouldn't have to fight the kids. Yeah.
Hey, before we bring in Rich, which we got to get him in here because, you know, we're talking Food Network star here, bro. This guy's like all over it. But before we do, we got to throw out VooDoo Valentine. It's on the Friday. Well, I don't even know when it is. The 12th or something. The Friday night before Valentine's Day. I think it's the 12th. Taking over Dark Door Spirits. Log on to VooDooChef.com. The menu's there. You can buy your tickets. It's going to be Rockstar, the comedy of Johnny B. I don't know if we announced it last week, tonight, who knows. The Kitchen Killers are coming in from Orlando. They're going to be playing. I was just on their streamcast. They are phenomenal. I can't wait. I get kind of like right now. I can't wait. Let's just quit playing around here. Let's get Rich in here. And I got to tell you, he's got a laundry list so long. As he's coming in, 2009 opened Sakaya Kitchen, 2010 Dim Sum A Go-Go, 2013 Black Brick Chinese, Blackbird, Society Barbecue, bringing Society Barbecue to Tampa, Florida. Chef Richard Hales, what's going on, my friend?
What's up, buddy? How you doing? It's
Dude,
been a long time since I've seen you.
Dude, it's been like 30 years. And I was just saying during our break here, I was saying, I think I've learned more about Richard Hales in the past 5 years following you than in high school when you were left tackle and I was left guard, because back then it was just like, all right, who's hitting who? What are we going to do? Dude,
That's
I'm
the beauty
like
of
super stoked.
beauty of technology, man. We get to see each other without seeing each other.
So, dude, I've got a million questions. I hated school. I did all my work and hauled ass early and came back for graduation. So, I missed out on a lot of stuff by choice, but that's okay. And like everything else in high school, we all
Listen, you didn't miss much. Let me just interject there.
Well, like anything, everybody goes their own separate ways. And, I'm surfing the net one day to find out that you're a sommelier, you graduated from culinary school, you're opening restaurants, you're kicking ass and taking names. And I'm like, holy moly, dude. So
imagine all the stuff we could have talked about back then.
I know, bro. That's what pisses me off. You grew up right here in Tampa, Florida, but you're from New Orleans. And you graduated Jefferson High School. We won't say what year because we're old as fuck. But I got to know, when did you actually leave and enroll in culinary school? Like, you got to take me down the path.
I mean, I always wanted to cook. I was cooking since I was 5.
Oh, we had a little break.
For young chefs that understand, back then it wasn't the cool thing to do. It wasn't like you weren't going to be a superstar or rock star. And I don't think I talked about it much, just because, even when I did talk about it, people made fun of me, actually. So, what are you like, are you a woman? Are you, it was like very, it was a very difficult thing. I mean, it seems silly now, but back then people just didn't want to hear that out of you. They wanted you to, oh, you're going to be a lawyer, and a doctor, you're going to be whatever, go into business. And all I wanted to do was cook. And I used to say, well, if I ever win the lottery, or if I ever get some money, then I'll go to culinary school, because I was always told that, no, you don't make any money, it's not a great career. And then I just said, fuck it, man. One time, I was like around in my, 24, 25 years old. And I said, what, I'm going to go. And my dad almost disowned me at the time, and he's still doubting he's proud of me, and he's very happy for me, and he's very supportive of me. But he's always worried that, maybe you should have been a lawyer. He told me the other day, like 2 days ago.
Come on now.
So I've known my whole life that I wanted to do it, and my only fear in life is not doing this. I could never do anything else. But I decided around 24, 25 to go to culinary school. I went when I was 26 to the French Culinary in New York City. It was only 9 months. They taught me the basic, what's a chinois, how to do brunoise cuts, and very French, but how to do classic dishes. And you just cook this, I think it's like 35 classic dishes over and over, and it taught you how to braise, how to sear, how to, confit, how to cut. It taught you the basics. And then I just worked in New York City, and it was sort of that OG, on the job training. And I went from there, and, just being a smart guy. I mean, I hated school too. I barely graduated. And I loved everything about cooking, so that's what got me through everything. The no money, the sweating, the cuts, the burns, the humiliation by your chef. And
So I find it really funny because, like I said earlier, here you and I side by side every day at practice, hanging out. I never knew this, and at the time I was working full time in restaurants, and I don't know if you knew that. And that's kind of funny.
What's up, everybody? This is WWE Superstar Titus O'Neil. I'm here with my man, Chef Erik Young, longtime friend. So much of a friend that he met me at my bank, one of my banks, Bank of America, to come and drop me off some good products that I'm about to get loose on this grill tomorrow when I have all these people over to my house. But you all can do the same thing. Go to VooDooChef.com and get your products. We've got everything on there from marinades to barbecue sauce to rub to all kinds of stuff. Shrimp, chicken, pork, beef, vegetarian, it don't matter. Just get on there and make it splatter. VooDoo.com, VooDooChef.com.
From 18 to 25, before you went to school, what filled that time? Did you do the play at the community college? Did you do?
Yeah, I went to USF, and then I went to ACC. I mean, I hated school. I
got kicked out of both of those places.
I ended up getting my 2-year degree. Then I was very close to being a senior at USF, and I was getting my MBA, and I just decided, this sucks. I don't like anything about it. All I want to do is cook. I was cooking at home, and I was telling you remember that girl Jackie Facenda?
Yeah, I know the name.
I think I was dating her at the time, or friends with her, and she said, a friend of mine just went to this culinary school called Johnson & Wales. You should check it out. So I talked to the person on the phone, and that person said, why don't you go to this place called French Culinary? So I ended up doing that, but I was in school, but I started like a bakery business when I was about 19 or 20. I was selling Cuban bread in Tampa. So I was sort of around the industry, and I wasn't really in the industry. I was selling to restaurants all over, even Central Florida, but mainly in Tampa. And that took me so far. And then I just said, you know what? I ended up making some money. I sold the business, and I packed a bag. And the day I sold the business, I moved to New York City without knowing anything. And just the next day, I started culinary school. It was like a big
Dude, you're
dream.
a rock star, man. That takes.
But it was like the happiest day of my life. I mean, besides my kids and my wife, Mary, but that day I remember just being so like giddy and happy that I finally made that decision to cook, professionally.
And that's a tough choice, and especially you're talking about New York City. Right. Now, were you living in the city? Were you living in the burbs? Because that's an expensive place.
Yeah, I moved to Brooklyn first. I was living in Brooklyn in like a dormitory for the culinary school, and then I moved to Manhattan. And I don't know if I was a hustler or just a smart guy, but I moved in with these. It was somebody looking for a roommate, just anonymously through the paper, a 3-bedroom, tiny little place in the Lower East Side. But when I went to go talk to him, he said, "Listen, I'm moving out in like 3 or 4 months. The other guy's moving out in a month. So when he moves out, you're gonna pay for half the rent. I'm gonna take 2 bedrooms, but when I leave, you can take the place." So at that time, you're talking 1997, 98, around there. I think it was around $1,400 a month for a 3-bedroom tiny place in the Lower East Side. So I went and got 2 roommates, and I charged them $600 each, and I just paid $200 for about 5 years, $200 a month plus whatever we split the electricity. So that's how I afforded to live there, and then the rest was just party money. You know, we would work, and yeah, I worked for Jean George for 2 of those years, and we would just like, you know, put 70 hours a week in, and we had to, we'd leave work, we'd go party. We wouldn't even go home. We would go back to the restaurant, put all our stocks on, put the bones on, put everything on. One person would stay in the kitchen, and we would alternate going in the dining room and sleeping. And that's what we did. But I thought, you know, I mean, it was great. It was like
You were living the life.
we were living the life. I mean, it was, and that was a different time in New York too, late 90s. You know, a lot of the well-known chefs that we know today were just coming up at that time. We were, you know, I worked the line with Jean George expediting, you know, so it was like a whole different thing. I worked with Danielle expediting, you know, the great chefs, I mean, that would come in to town and work with them, and we would be working on their crew, you know, so it was an exciting time for me. Going from Tampa, and Tampa was completely different then than it is today, to New York City and cooking at that level.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Miss Ruby Red Monroe, all the way from San Francisco, California. Don't forget, you should check out some VooDoo Chef Dirt. See, I think it's both small. VooDoo Chef Dirt is an amazing product. I use it all the time in my kitchen. But also, the fun fact about this product is that a portion of the proceeds go to culinary scholarships, which is really amazing. So if you can, go out, check us out online, VooDoo Chef. Find it at a store near you. Mwah. See you soon. Bye.
Another argument, I guess I haven't learned. Seems that when I express myself, out slips the wrong words. You know I hate to see tears fall down your face. When this happens, baby, love is lost with...
Where does your inspiration come from? Is it grandma?
Yeah, I mean, my grandmother's she's passed, but she was Filipino. I don't know if you remember that. But, you know, so I grew up eating a form of Asian food, you know, my whole life, soy sauce and sort of mixing vinegar with you know, sugar and heat and saltiness. So when I was in New York, I was speaking with John George, and I said, you know, what do you think I should do? And what he had done was he went to Thailand for 2 years, and he said it was life-changing for him. So I said, you know, let me do the same thing, and it was the same for me. I started going. I'd go for a month. I'd backpack, I'd cook, and then I'd go for 3 months, I'd go for 6 months. And then what I would do is I'd eat something, and if I liked it, I would just tell the person, hey, I'll work here for free, I'll do the dishes, I'll mop the floors, whatever. I just want to learn this food or this particular dish, and I'll be here for like a week or 2 or whatever it takes. And a lot of people let me do that, and a lot of people, you know, in the same token said, no, we don't know who you are. And that's what inspired me. I just was going, I mean, I was in Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, Bali. You know, I went to Korea. Later on, after I did all those stints, I went into Hong Kong and a little bit in mainland China. You know, that kind of inspired me to my experience in New York, my experience at home in Tampa. Really inspired a lot of things for me too, because, you know, my dad's like sort of an Irish Italian, and my mom is an Irish Filipina woman, and she would do like a continental cuisine. She would cook every night and do something different. And just that, my grandparents were cooks. My grandmother was a lunchroom cook. My grandfather was also. So it's just like in the blood. And it's just something that I don't think I could never ever think of doing anything else. That's always, like I said, that's the big fear. But what I was saying before with you was not to ask you the questions, but we were standing right next to each other for 4 years, or 3 years, and you were going to be a chef, and I was going to be a chef. We never once talked about
I know, that's crazy.
that. It's crazy.
I was working in the restaurants full time at that time.
Yeah, and you had more balls than me, anyways. You left to be in the band. You left to be in the band, and I remember back then, I was like, God, this guy's got balls, man. I was living in a box, like, your parents tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
Dude, it's no different. I got kicked out of USF. I got kicked out of HCC. I got kicked out of UCF, and it's all good. And the irony of it all, I ended up being a teacher, teaching culinary. So.
Yeah, that's great.
So hey, I'm Casey Grello. I play drums with Queensryche, and I love VooDoo Chef. It's amazing stuff. My wife and I cook with it all the time. Thank you, VooDoo Chef.
I've been texting with Coach Nelson.
Really?
Yeah, I got his number from Henry. Remember Henry Leffler?
Yeah.
All of these years I've kept in touch. I just texted him now that I was on, I was about to do a podcast with you, and he, of course, is making, I can't say it on the podcast what he said. But,
you can, just so you know, you can.
Huh?
You can say it, just so you know.
He gave me Coach Nelson's number, and I've been texting, and Nelson just texted me for Christmas, and I'm going to see, he wants to get together after COVID and all that, but it was nice to be in touch with him.
I would run into Hubbard and Nagel all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, both great guys, and the fact that they remember every single player all the way along the way, just insane.
Yeah, it is.
They're great people, just molding the future. And I'm sure you've taken a lot of those lessons that we learned from them and applied them in your kitchens, because that's what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, just the teamwork and just the attention to detail that they had. They weren't just going through the motions. And even when I text Nelson, I almost insulted him by saying, "Do you remember me?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Of course I remember you. I mean, how can I forget you? Like, I don't forget, and that was really nice, to hear that.
It just warms you up.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the whole regimented part of youth sports, I mean, the kitchen's a military system, and so is playing sports, and that, I think that helps you a lot, just respecting people that are in charge, help, working as a team, and because it gets very competitive. I mean, New York was very much like that. We fought with each other, but we were always a team. Like, you never left anybody behind. Miami, a different story, is a little bit more transient, less family atmosphere, but hopefully now in Tampa, I'll experience that again.
So since you brought that up, let's bring that up. I don't know how much you've talked about this, but I'm skimming through, doing research for tonight, because again, we go back 30 years, standing side by side. Those are bonds that you just don't lose. And a lot of people, if you haven't done that, you don't understand that.
Right.
So I'm researching your current history, and you just acquired Pop and Son's Diner, famous place on Dale Mabry, and getting ready to bring Grateful Hospitality to Tampa, which is so exciting. Talk about that a little bit.
I was looking at a lot of different cities in Austin and Asheville, Savannah, Atlanta. I said, I really want to do something big and get out of the state and just even on personal reasons too. I wanted to go and have a second house there or something. And when COVID, we were doing great in Miami. I had a rocky history from 17 to 19 with my medical situation, but middle 19 up till just before COVID, I had just gotten all my shit together with my business. I got everything running like great. The infrastructure's there. We're making money. And then COVID hits, and it just shut everything down. So one of the silver linings of COVID, especially for somebody like me, was that you got to stop. Like all the restaurants were closed. That hadn't happened to me in 12 years. I run a 7-day-a-week operation, and all my restaurants are open, 7 days a week, and there were breakfast, lunch, and dinner in one of them. So, for 7 days a week, I was open.
And you are hands-on in every restaurant.
I'm hands-on. I go from one restaurant to the next. I do everything from creating a concept. I do the websites. I do the social media. I hire. I do everything except for administrative work in the business. And then I will pass on to, and we were, prior to COVID, our revenue was around 15 million a year, and I don't have any managers, only on the biggest project. I have a lot of supervisors, and that's how hands-on that I am. And it's not that I don't give them autonomy to run the business, because they run the business for me. I just like it that way. I like to have direct access to my staff. They text me a lot. It's a pain in the ass, but they text me all the time and, ask me questions. And sometimes they'll say, does the owner of the company really have to answer that question? There couldn't have been somebody else. But I am hands-on with it. And I'll be in the restaurant, for the first 6 months, almost every day. And then once I see it start to run, then I'll feel freer to go, and I do like a circuit. And now it's become more difficult because I have restaurants open in Miami, and then I'm here, so I go back and forth. And I guess it's going to get more difficult once I open Pops, Pop and Sons, and I'll have Society Barbecue running on the same property.
So are you going to keep it Pop and Sons?
That I think that was your original question. So it wasn't even for sale, and he wanted to sell, but it wasn't up for sale. And there was like a political sign up in front, and one of my family members says, "Hey, I think Pop and Sons is for sale." So I look him up, whatever, find it, send him an email, and they responded. And then he's like, "No, it's not for sale, but let's talk." And I met him there, and I ended up sitting there with him for at least 2 months in the diner, just shooting the shit. He's from North Carolina. He's a good old boy. And I knew as soon as I talked to him on the phone, I told my wife, I said, this is not going to be a quick deal. This is a handshake guy. And he's had this place for 45 years. He's just not going to give it to anybody. The money is not a factor for him.
Right.
Right. So I sat with him for 2 months, and we just got to know each other, and we're friends now. And we finally made the deal, and I took it over. During that time, I said, I should keep it Pop and Sons. I should really continue the tradition. I know it's had a lot of ups and downs. I've followed it. I've gone there over the past, 10 years a few times. And I'm going to incorporate my barbecue spot there, because the lot's about 3/4 of an acre, which is nice. It's on Del Mabry. It's right by the stadium. I basically didn't buy the restaurant. I bought the property, and the restaurant just basically came with it. The property is the real value.
Right.
So that was important to me too, because as a restaurateur, if you just keep leasing, like you said, we're old. And I'm not getting any younger. So what do I do when my leases are up? I can't sell the business, and the businesses are around me anyways, but so I need property. That was the first goal, was to find a restaurant that we could actually buy the land And that was another determining factor coming to Tampa, because Miami, it's virtually impossible.
Right.
Unless you're completely on the outskirts.
Now, do you reside in Miami or do you reside in Tampa?
I moved my family to Tampa, so I have a place in Miami that I go back to, but my family's here in Tampa. It's nice because my parents are here, my brother's here, you know, my old friends. I went out the other night and saw Matt Albanese, and you know, like I was sitting in a restaurant, I see somebody from our high school. You know, I'm Michelle Faedo. I'm going to be buying bread from her. It's just nice. It just feels like home. You know, the other places were home, but this really feels like home.
That's awesome. Well, it's nice to have you back, man.
Thank you.
That's nice having you back in town.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't care as long as it has extra cheese, like all the cheese. Oh, hey VooDoos, it's me, Johnny B. I want to remind you guys, every Friday, 10 p.m., make sure you're tuning into my show, The Johnny B Show, because we have the VooDoo chef himself on with me, and we talk culinary. Yeah, we talk about recipes that he's created that week. We post videos up on the Facebook page, and we take phone calls. We just talk food. It's Foodie Fridays on my show. So it's a couple fat guys talking food. What is better than that? I don't know. Tune in. The Johnny B Show, Friday nights, 10 p.m. We talk everything VooDoo Foundation and everything VooDoo food. Just do it. You know you want to. Seriously, cheese, please.
I'm really excited, man. I expect a lot of big things. I want to talk about one more thing, Rich. You know, it's all about the food. It's all about the food. But you're doing the stops on all of these major events. You're at South Beach Food and Wine. I don't know what other ones. If there's a Food Network show, you've been on it.
Yeah.
How did you fall into that? I mean,
I originally was against it because I was like, the Food Network. I didn't understand the value of it, first of all. And like, if there's any of your students listen to it, it's not about getting on the show. It's about being trained well enough to be really good on those shows, right? Anybody can get on a show. If you're good looking, if you're the type, it's TV, it's entertainment. That's right. The first thing. But if you go on a show like with a guy like Guy Fieri, you better know your shit, because he's going to make sure, he's going to ask you stuff on camera. First of all, you have 5 cameras in front of you and the lights and everything. And it's $1 million production, to shoot an episode. It's crazy money, so you can't fuck up. So there's a lot of pressure on you, and then you have like the host talking to you, or you're cooking and you need to talk. So it's a skill that you have to learn. But at first I was against it. I was against the Food Network, and then I didn't, like I said, I didn't understand the value. And then they called me one day because I was making some waves in Miami and said, look, we want you on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And I met with they close your restaurant. They do all these things. You have to fix the restaurant. Oh, you have to buy new pots, and there can be no grime in the kitchen. If there is, you have to cover it with aluminum foil. It's like a whole thing. And it's a big learning lesson too on production. And I met with Guy. Guy and I became instant friends. And I sold him a car at that moment. I had a 64 Caddy outside. I sold him that. When next thing you know, I'm flying to his house like a week later for his birthday party. It was just like a whirlwind type of thing. And I've been really good friends with him ever since. He's a godfather of my kids. So I think as you start, what's that?
Was Diners your first show?
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't my first show, but of that magnitude, it was. When you start winning things like Best Dish, or I was winning all these awards in Miami, Best Fast Casual, Best Egg Rolls, little things like that in what's the equivalent of the Creative Look and Hear, like the Miami New Times. or the Herald there, Chef of the Year by Eater nominated. You know, you start to make waves like that, then the producers will call. They'll call you. They'll call somebody in the city, a writer or whatever, and they'll say, "Hey, who's happening right now?" "Oh, Richard Hales at Sakai." So that's how you sort of get on the treadmill.
Right.
How you stay on the treadmill is like that. You really have to perform. You know, I'm actually a very shy person normally. I mean, I don't know if you remember me.
I remember that.
I don't talk. I wouldn't talk too much.
Very quiet.
So I was very quiet. But you can't be like that, until, as you know, you're a lot better on it than me.
No, I drink a lot. That's what it is.
But to stay on it, you really have to know your shit, and that's what you don't see in these, unfortunately, these young chefs that have grown up with the Food Network so prolific that they don't understand that it's a lot of work, you know, and that whole thing where you say you can't even make an omelet, that's like you're already on the Food Network, but you know, you can't even run a kitchen, you know. So it's a double-edged sword, because you got to kind of stay on it. But to answer your question, once you're on it and they see you know what you're doing, they keep calling you.
Yeah. Right.
Every show will call you because that producer, he worked for Guy, but now he's working for Bobby Flay. You know, now he's working for Gianna. Now he's working for this person over here. So then it just starts to steamroll. And I've been on a lot of TV, but it's helped my career.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely great marketing.
Yeah.
But like you said, you know, a lot of people see this stuff and they think, "Oh my God, why did that guy get the break? Why is he so lucky?"
Right.
It's like you said, you have to do hard work in order to get that recognition, to get the call.
Right, and you have to promote yourself too, and not to the point where you're promoting something that's not real. But I've already got an article here locally. I've only been here a month or so. I've already got an article. I'm getting a follow-up article. I was on the news today. They didn't come to me. They didn't say, "Oh, we're so happy Richard Hales is coming to town." They don't give a fuck. And half of them don't even know who I am. So I introduce myself to them. I do Google searches of every producer. I'll read an article. There's an article about you. I'll look up the writer, and I'll email the writer and say, "Hey, by the way, I saw that you did Erik's Best Burger. I also have a burger. The next time you're doing that, come by and try mine." You know what I'm saying? And so I'm ahead of it.
Would that be the burger with the lobster and the raclette?
That was a gimmick, right? You know, you do these gimmick burgers for press.
Yeah, but it got a lot of attention.
The press, one thing that we have the advantage is that all the press needs content, right? You understand that. Everybody needs content. So I said, you know, let me give them some content, and it's a beautiful burger to make. But the funny part about it was we sold the shit out of that thing. I mean, you know, for that burger was like $75 on the menu or something like that. And we would sell about 10 a night. You know, and to sell 10 a night of a burger like that is crazy.
You're not complaining, are you?
I'm not complaining. And it was actually, and the best part, I wrote that burger out on paper, and I emailed it to my chef de cuisine, and I said, "Hey, I got an idea for a crazy burger. Try this." And he made it there. He called me back. He said, "Man, dude, shit's fucking awesome." And I'm like, "Oh, I haven't tasted it yet." And he goes, "What do you haven't tasted it?" I'm like, "No, I just made it up on the email. I wanted you to try it, you know?" And that's the difference between a gimmick and whatever. It just so happened that if you understand balance, then you know, it ended up working out. Sometimes those things don't work out, and it's just for press, you know?
How long is that still on your menu?
Well, Bird and Bone closed. COVID killed it. It was that restaurant was, God, it was, I had almost, between the pool and the beach and the bars, almost 800 seats total in that F&B program. I did the rooms, I did the banquets, I did in-room dining. We had 3 bars. We had a 200-seat main dining room. So it was a big 400 seats on the beach. It was huge. So we were cooking in that restaurant. I mean, you know, 7 figures a month. And
Wow.
COVID killed it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all the restaurants that are closing because of COVID?
I feel like,
question?
I think the silver lining for the
Let me rephrase that real quick. How do you feel about all the restaurants that are closing because of the shutdown because of COVID?
Right. I think, you know, I feel horrible for people in California and New York. I mean, we have it good here, all considering, right? Yes, they shut us down, and we can bitch and complain about the 25% and the 50% or the misdirection, you know, just the misuse of power. But overall, we're still open, right? And now we're 100% when other places are completely shut down. And I have tons of friends that are coming to Miami, coming to Florida. I have friends that are moving here to Tampa from those places. But I think it tested our resolve, right? And I think, you know, we pivoted. When it first happened, I didn't sit down and go, this sucks. I sat down and thought for 2 days straight, just staring out to the fucking ocean, what am I going to do? And started making plans. You know, okay, what will this do? Okay, we can't go to restaurants. Where are we going to eat? We're going to eat at home. So I immediately signed up for every third-party app that I was not on. I immediately got my website prepared for delivery. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a little bit ahead. I contacted World Central Kitchen and said, are you guys going to do anything in Miami? Because I have a kitchen. I have 3 kitchens. At the time, I had 4 restaurants open. I said, I have 4 restaurants at your disposal. You know, because they'll pay you like $10 a meal, but it'll keep you survive. So I ended up getting about 1,200 meals a week just from them. So right away, I never closed my Chinese restaurant. I just closed it for like a week. We got all the sanitation in, we got all the PPEs in, and the mask and everything in, and then we reopened, but just for takeout. It's tough, man, and I feel bad, but I think the silver lining is it's going to wash out a lot of people that really shouldn't be in the business, and it's going to scare away a lot of the investment money that shouldn't be in the business, because it's horrible in Miami with that. Like, you'll have somebody laundering money from some other country, and they open restaurants, you know, and then these restaurants have no business being open, and then they bring down the entire city, you know. So I think it's a good thing to get those out, and I think that it is a exercise that the strongest will survive. You know, you have to pivot. I mean, I have a shipping business now. I ship my barbecue nationwide, and 26% of my overall company sales are shipped out of the state of Florida right now.
Holy cow.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, and then you have third-party apps. Another 35% of my revenue goes to delivery. So you're talking 60% of my revenue is not even consumed in my restaurant anymore, right? So that is, I mean, that's another death blow to the retail location. The fact that you have to have the best location. You don't have to have the best location anymore. You could have a shitty location. What's that?
You ever thought of a ghost kitchen?
I mean, I've done ghost kitchen. I had my first restaurant. I closed it out and the location it was in, and I put my barbecue in there, and then I put a ghost kitchen in my Chinese restaurant on my original restaurant. And we were doing okay, not great, but we were doing okay with it. I've been approached many times. I don't need somebody else's ghost kitchen. I have more kitchens than I need, you know. But I do like I don't know if you saw this Mr. Beast Burger launch he did 300. He's an influencer, like 40 million, you know, followers on YouTube. So he decides to go in the burger business, and he just does nothing but ghost kitchens, 300 across the U.S. That's a disruptor. So you're going to see that. Somebody that has the idea that can deliver a good product, but also has the 20 million followers. Imagine going to a chain that's not doing great and making a deal with them, and they have 500 locations. Say, you know what? I'm going to sell this little 6-item menu from your place and do Uber Eats and Toast and everything and launch it nationwide. Imagine how much money you can save now launching nationwide. These are the silver linings inside of what's happening to our industry.
Dude, I just think it's incredible the way your brain spins. It spins like this. I love watching it. You said something very earlier in the podcast. You said, I'm a smart guy. I barely graduated high school. And I would love to sit here and do this all night. I could sit here and bullshit with you all night. I definitely want to lock you in to do this again.
Sure.
But on every podcast, and I don't know what you've watched, probably had wife Hales watch it and say, what the fuck am I getting into? But at the end of every podcast, we're going to test your smarts.
Oh,
for a little pointless pop culture trivia.
Oh.
I hope you're ready.
I guess I have to be ready.
Well, we're going to bring in some friends to play a little pointless pop culture trivia with you. But before we do, man, dude, I know it's been 30 years, but I feel that, what we had is a bond that can't be taken away. And
No.
I'm so excited for all your success, and I'm glad you're bringing it to Tampa.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we're brothers, dude. We'll always be brothers.
Speaking of brothers, let's welcome in Albert Ferreira.
Oh, shit, another lineman.
Al, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
It's been a while.
Oh, look at this guy.
And coming in, if you
It's not as magnificent as yours.
What a blast from the past. But I have seen Albert. I saw him at, actually right next door to the diner I just bought. I saw him at Mom's.
I frequent both those places, man, so I'm glad you're keeping Pops open.
I go to Mom's. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I saw you at Mom's. It was like weird. It was a weird interaction. A woman that I've known for since I was a kid that worked for my dad. She completely forgot who I was. And Albert's like, I don't think she knows you.
and I don't know what Big Hen's doing, but there he is. Henry, where you at?
You should have tidied up before you started.
I know. What is that?
Oh, I just text this motherfucker.
Yeah, he didn't tell you he was coming, did he? Well, look, there he is. What's up, man? Henry, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, I'm finally here, man.
Oh, look at this. You don't even let on that you're on this. I text him right before the podcast. And I'm like, you remember Erik? I'm going on a podcast with him. And then he said some nonsense.
Rich said, remember that dumb fuck? And Henry's like, yeah, and that's the real story. Like,
Erik, what are you drinking there? You drinking some yak?
Jack Daniels, buddy. Jack Daniels.
Do you drink?
Cool, man.
What's that?
Cool.
This is it. Do you drink anything else?
Nope. So, you guys ready for a little pointless pop culture trivia?
Oh, yeah.
All right, as always, you know the rules. Only 2 rules. You must have a cocktail, and there is no cheating. And the winner of tonight's pointless pop culture trivia will win the right to have their name entered into a drawing where they may be named the winner of a prize. May or may not be named at a later date. Some shit like that. All right. Question number 1. And all you have to do to answer is shout out your name. Big Eddie C is the keeper of all the score, all the final answers. His decision is final. He has the gator paw. I have the jacket. In texting, what do the letters OMG stand for?
Oh, my God.
Richard.
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 Oh my God.
Oh my God. Henry,
Come
you're
on,
an educator.
Henry.
You gotta listen to
Catch
the
up.
All right, I'm
You
trying
gotta
to rename
shout
my name.
out your name. Trying to raise my hand. I'd say, what are you doing, the Harry Wong technique? But they might take it to mean something else in this
I mean,
point.
what kind of room are you in, Henry? Is that a fucking torture room? What is this?
It's my mad scientist barbecue room.
I can accept that.
All right, question number 2. The Thanksgiving dish turducken consists of a chicken stuffed inside a duck, stuffed inside a what?
Turkey.
Again,
Richard.
turkey.
Richard, yep.
Turkey.
Turkey it is. Again, if you want to shout the answer, shout out your name so we know who we're talking to.
Henry will get it on the 3rd try.
Hey, I call my name, man. There's some kind of lag going on here.
You never auditioned for Jeopardy.
That's the difference. You were in the school district, so you got that shitty internet connection, like me. All right, question number 3. In 2010, what new Apple device was described as being between a laptop and a smartphone?
Richard. iPad.
And you're saying you barely graduated?
Yeah.
You got a lawyer and an educator, and you're kicking their ass.
Fucking guys like Ken Jennings, man.
I think, hey, you just keep winning, man. It's saying a lot for our industry. I think Al's got this one on lock, though.
Uh-oh.
Question number 4. What Sports Illustrated model has a best-selling cookbook and a popular website called Cravings?
What's her
Got
name?
me on that one.
What's her name? Richard.
Richard.
Oh.
Kathy Ireland.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Ow.
Al.
Al.
Al's locked up. Yes.
What's your name?
Uh-huh. Is he back? Are you there, Al?
Oh, shit.
Hey, you keep freezing, I'm gonna call you fucking Olaf, man.
That's the yak making him freeze up.
Yep.
All right, Al, you're back. You got it?
Is it mine that's it? All right, sorry.
What do you got? What's your answer?
I thought it was Cindy Crawford.
It is not Cindy Crawford. It is Chrissy Teigen. It is Chrissy Teigen.
He was close.
Yeah, that's
All right.
my wife would know
Down.
that.
Give us a score there, Big Eddie C.
Shit.
Richard has 3.
And just so you guys know, Big Eddie C is the keeper of trivia because he's like a smart motherfucker. He's certified in every subject area
Oh, yeah.
teach. He's a smart motherfucker. Question number 5. He's probably the only one that'll know this too. Well, Alma. Dactyloscopy is a method of establishing identification by studying what form of crime evidence?
What's the word?
Dactyloscopy.
Richard. Henry's butthole.
You might get some points from Ed on that one.
That one gets points for originality.
That's crime scene evidence? Wow. Jeez.
I don't want to know what took place there, brother. I don't want to.
How about I'll try it out.
Al.
I'll try to.
What was the question?
Dactyloscopy. What are we looking at the crime scene?
What, bugs? Life-size bugs or whatever?
No, Henry, you're an educator. Come on.
Semen.
Saliva.
Oh.
Saliva.
Going back to Rich's answer, just so you know, I wouldn't even have thrown that one out there. Because now they're going to be associated forever.
Yeah.
The correct answer is fingerprints.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, Henry.
Oh, my God. You know, I can splice this up so amazingly well. All right, let's see who's faster than Rich. Question number 6. The Chipotle pepper is a dried and smoked version of what?
Richard. Poblano. Is that correct?
Are you throwing them softballs here, homie? You are
Yeah.
Chipotle pepper. Dried and smoked what?
Oh, was that wrong?
Poblano.
question?
Right?
No, Rich is throwing you guys softballs. He's losing on purpose. He doesn't want to be labeled the nerd. That is
Jalapeno. It's jalapeno.
It's jalapeno.
It's the hat. Yep.
I gotta let him catch up. At least Henry.
Come on, man.
I know Al's smarter than me.
Dude, you know I'm a ham and egger when it comes to cooking here, you know.
How many edibles did you have before you logged on?
It's had a bowl of cereal, brother.
That's edible.
Question number 7. In country names,
Uh-oh.
UAE stands for United Arab what?
Aaron.
Al.
I got one.
It is.
Yeah. He hung his head.
I don't even know what to say, man. Al, we're jamming on Friday if you want to come over.
Oh, really? What's going on?
Casey won't be here. All right, question number 8. In the kids' book series, 4th graders George and Harold turn Principal Crop into Captain who?
Al,
Al.
the Captain Underpants.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
How old are your kids, dude?
Well, now they don't read them, but they did at one time.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say Captain Stinky Pants. I'm glad I didn't say Richard.
Jeez.
Big Eddie C, what's our score, homie?
Richard's got 4 and Al's got 2.
Oh, he's on the comeback.
Uh-oh.
He's on the board, man.
We're saying there's a chance.
Here we are.
Number 9, in term of land area, which is bigger? The state of Georgia or the country of Georgia?
Al,
Al.
Country of Georgia.
No, he said state.
it's the state of Georgia.
It is the state of Georgia.
Wow.
Question number 10.
4-3.
Just so you know, there's only 13 questions here.
Uh-oh.
Question number 10. Tech billionaire Mark Cuban owns which NBA team?
Richard.
Al.
Dallas.
That's
Dallas
the one.
Mavericks.
Yeah.
You're going to get your ass kicked now, then, homie. We have a tie game, correct there, Big Eddie C?
We do. That is correct.
Question number 11. Marmalade is commonly made with the Seville variety of what fruit?
Richard.
Richard.
Oranges.
Oranges it is. He's throwing no more softballs because it's
That was a softball.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's time for action. I'm not screwing around.
Question number 12. In business, what do the letters S&P stand for in S&P 500 stock index?
Al,
Al.
Oh, man.
Standard and Poor's.
Standard
Henry-
& Poor's
Henry
it is.
left.
We are all tied up.
Wow.
We are all tied up. Henry, what are you benching these days, man? You're looking deep.
Who knows, man?
Who has time for that shit?
As heavy as a fork. You know? About as heavy as I'm going these days.
Could you imagine if our offensive line was the size we are now
Oh, that would be
back
scary.
then? Oh, fuck. We would all went pro.
What are you weighing in, Rich? You were fucking doing UFC for a while.
Yeah, I weigh 300.
Henry?
248.
Al?
Close to 3.
I'm 6'7", 240.
Okay.
I'm coming in at 350 these days, guys. It's
350?
we would have one hell of a line.
We're gonna add.
I know. Can you imagine? We're all 300 pounders. Fucking. I text Nelson and I said, "Hey Nelson, I'm 300 pounds. Remember I couldn't gain weight?" And he said, "I think I'm going to come out of retirement."
Jim will still come in weighing in at about $160.
Oh my God!
I heard Jimmy was like 500 pounds.
No,
he lost weight. He lost some weight. He picked up weight, and then he's pretty athletic, man.
Oh, that's good.
He can outrun all of us right now, believe it or not.
Good for him.
I read somewhere that running across demons is a sin, man, so you shouldn't do it. Well,
I don't know. He does it, and he runs like several miles, works out. I mean, he's doing good.
Well, that's good stuff, man. All right, you ready for the tiebreaker here? We'll see who gets this. Pour yourself some proper 12 and get ready for this outspoken UFC fighter's return to the octagon on
Richard.
Come on, man.
McGregor.
Richard's in with Conor McGregor, and you are the winner of Pop Culture Trivia, my friend. Hey, man, I absolutely love the fact that the four of us are sitting here in this room, and it's something that we can never give away. It'll never be taken away. It's a bond that we'll have forever, man. I love you guys, and thanks for clicking in.
Awesome, dude. It was really great. Nice surprise.
Thank you for the invite, Erik.
Always. We got to do it again.
Yeah.
Take it easy, guys. Nice meeting you.
See ya, Al.
All right.
See you guys, man. Thank you.
Peace out.
And there you have it, Booties, another episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast. Let's give a big shout out to everyone involved with VooDoo Chef and all things VooDoo, starting with Woostoff Knives, the official knife of the VooDoo Chef. And jamming up and down the streets of all Ybor City and Tampa Bay, Ragged Old Souls. Thanks for letting me jam with you guys. And when those amps are cranking, the turntables are definitely spinning thanks to the official DJ of the VooDoo Chef, DJ Don Pablo. Check him out spinning all across town, most importantly, at all VooDoo Chef events. Speaking of events, getting ready for yours? Check out VooDoo Chef Catering, custom created events for every shape and size. Log on to VooDooChefCatering.com to get your information today. A great big shout out to all my Voodies that are in the VooDoo crew. Thank you for your support. And of course, we could not do what we do in the crew without all of our crew sponsors. First Watch, Chef Shane Shively, thank you for believing in our mission. And of course, we can't forget VooDoo Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, check them out at VooDooMortgage.com. Alessi Bakery, a Tampa staple. Drop in and check them out today. And our newest sponsor, Twisted South Food Truck. Chef Adam Jessup, thank you for what you do. And of course, all things VooDoo are in support of the VooDoo Chef Foundation, providing culinary scholarship and feeding those in need. To find out more information or make a donation yourself, log on to VooDooChefFoundation.com today.